And we're just moments away from turning on the Friday night lights for the first time here in the 2012 high school football season. We greet you from Austintown Fitch High School, Falcon Stadium, as Austintown Fitch getting set to entertain Warren Harding in a battle of former Steel Valley Conference foes. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy. And Ralph, we talk about big rivalries. This bowl game tonight, a big rivalry of years gone by, but truly a measuring stick of each of these teams and just how prepared, how good they're going to be for this season. The coaches will learn a lot by how things go tonight. Yeah,
both of these teams I really think want to see where they're at. You know, you look at the Austintown Fitch Falcons. Last year had a really good team decimated by injuries. Those injuries caused a lot of the younger guys to play all season. Well, those younger guys are upperclassmen now. Coach Phil Anarella wants to see how they respond under these Friday night lights. On the other sidelines, you have a new head coach in Steve Arnold. Arnold taking over a program that's been in flux for the last couple of years. A new system. Want to see how they do as well.
Steve Arnold is the pupil. Phil Anarella is the teacher. Arnold, very familiar in Warren Harding circles. Previously, the boys basketball coach. He's the 35th coach in school history. Previously spent 12 years as a Harding football assistant. Arnold was hired, his first ever coaching job, hired by Phil Anarella as a middle school coordinator when Phil Anarella was at Warren Harding, one of the best in the business. Phil Anarella, a veteran coach in his 32nd season, now heading up the Falcons program, 191 victories to his name. He led Warren Harding to the 1990 Division I state crown, and there you see a long list of all the stops that he has really done an outstanding job at. Phil Anarella facing off with his former understudy, whom he hired in Steve Arnold from Warren Harding. Of course, these two teams are going at it with two coaches trying to get these programs off to a good start. Coach Arnold, certainly no nerves for him. He's bringing the same calm, cool, collected approach as he brought to the hardwood.
Just like I was for basketball, just ready for the season to tip off, and kick off. I said tip off, kick off, and you know, just ready to go. Nothing. I try to keep myself on an even keel, and as I do the players, you know, just stay level and not get too high or too low, and you stay focused and be ready for the task at hand.
It brought it out a little bit today because I see the old game pants that I bought when I was still there. They were wearing them at the scrimmages. So that was kind of funny to see. But, you know, other than that, no. We're pretty proud of what's going on here right now, and we certainly want it to continue. And we've got a great, great group of young men, and looking forward to the season, Chad.
As you take a look at our series notes, these two teams met quite a bit in Steel Valley Conference action over the years. The Raiders actually lead the all-time series 12-10. Fitch won last season in a ball game that we saw over at Mollenkopf Stadium, Ralph. The Raiders previously had won 9 straight by an average margin of 25 points to 10. So these two teams going at it, but Harding looking for a little revenge here tonight.
Boy, last year when we saw that game, that was Fitch at 100%. Their injuries kind of accumulated after that, but boy, we thought we were going to see big things out of that team heading into that season.
Let's take a look at this moment in Game of the Week history. We take you just about 1 year ago as these two teams faced off on the turf at Mollenkopf Stadium. It was Rick Rios making his debut. He lasted just a year at Warren Harding, facing off with Phil Anarella. Late second quarter, Will Mahone going to work. 9-yard touchdown run. Falcons up 7-zip at the half. Mahone had a $1.02 on the night, rushing the ball. More from Fitch. Tyrese Anderson, who we'll see today, showing some great moves, great speed. 23-yard touchdown run. Fitch up 14-0. Anderson not done yet. Another 4-yard touchdown run to make it 21-0. Anderson 59 rushing yards, couple of touchdowns. Fitch rolled 28-7, and certainly the Falcons were a well-oiled machine on that particular night. We're just getting you started here as the opening kickoff is just moments away. Stay with us. Austintown Fitch and Warren Harding coming at you on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week.
Go.
And welcome back to Austintown Fitch Falcon Stadium. Fitch and Harding getting set to square off. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy. We've talked about the rivalry. We've talked about the history. Let's break this one down now. There is plenty of blue chip Division I college prospects that we will see on display here. Let's take a look at a list of some of those players we're going to expect to hear a lot from moving forward tonight and into the season.
LaShawn Daniels, running back for Harding, heading to Boston College. Jalen Powell going to Michigan State, and Billy Price of the Falcons going to Ohio State.
What impresses you about the two Warren Harding Raiders? We'll start with Jalen Powell. You mentioned he's a future Michigan State Spartan, and he's a very talented player.
Well, Jalen Powell, we saw him a little bit last year at quarterback. They got him out of the backfield. They also played him at wide receiver. Tonight we're going to be at wide receiver, and there you see the combo back, that rare combination of power and speed that LaShawn Daniels is going to be bringing to Boston College. He has that NFL pedigree as well. His father played for Ohio State and in the NFL for the Vikings. And again, you can see right here just how powerful and how quick he is.
Head coach Steve Arnold of Warren Harding telling us earlier this week, he said, you know what, these two players are difference makers. They can make plays that the average player is incapable of making. They can change a game in a hurry.
Yeah, you know, those two players are skill players. And you look on the other side of the ball, Billy Price of Fitch, he's a lineman. You don't expect a lineman to make that big of a difference in a game, but he certainly brings it on both sides of the football. He could dominate you on the defensive line, and that's where he'll be playing at Ohio State, getting the sacks, but also he's a leader on that offense, anchoring that offensive line.
He said earlier this week that this is going to be a nice barometer of just how good he is moving forward. There's plenty of talent on display here tonight, as well as plenty of respect from both sides.
There's going to be a lot of playmakers out there with Jalen Powell and LaShawn Daniels, both tough, quality, hard-nosed football players, and they deserve all the hype that they get. I mean, they're both very, very good athletes, and to be on the same field with them and to compete against them is going to put a good measurement for myself, especially going against quality opponents like that week in and week out. Now, it's going to do me a lot of goodness.
We're not the same team that we were last year. We're a much better team this year, and we're not a team that you can just go and walk all over.
I'm so excited. I've just been ready for this ever since the last season was over. Just ready to get back to it.
It's very refreshing to see such talent, but also three players that are very, very humble players. They have great attitudes. They're hardworking players, and I expect some big things from all three of them here in the 2012 season.
Well, absolutely. The big thing is that they're going to be leaders for their teams, and this is where you started here on week one.
Well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty here tonight. Our keys to the game, and we'll take a look at this one. The Arnold era begins, Ralph.
Absolutely. He wants to get off to a good start, has a good staff behind him, and a lot of players believe in him.
How about number two? It's the Price is Right. Billy Price, we expect some big things. He should have a big impact in this one. Finally, an early season statement, a barometer of just how good these two sides are. How important is a win in this one tonight?
A win in here gets you that confidence and that boost into the rest of your schedule.
All of that preseason prognostication is over to the larger programs in the entire area getting set to kick off. It's moments away. It's Harding and Fitch coming at you on the MyValleySports.com High School Football Game of the Week.
This is the Valley, a place of strength and character. This is where we live. This is where we work and raise our families. Toughness lives here. We stand together. And when we're knocked down, we fight our way back. We're a football town. We live and breathe sports. Weakness is not tolerated here. We will not surrender. We are champions. Warren Harding. Fitch.
Are you ready to rock? Now hit the spotlights. Out in the stage, your body all night. Look at them boys, having a thrill. Rock this place, gonna rock it 'cause they're so cool. Are you ready? Ready to rock, ready to show this place
A picture-perfect night for football in Austintown, Ohio. A couple of former Steel Valley Conference foes getting set to lock horns in week one. It's Austintown Fitch and Warren G. Harding. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy as we're getting you set for the opening kickoff, the debut of Steve Arnold on the gridiron following 9 years as the head boys basketball coach. of the Raiders program. And Ralph, I'll tell you what, there's an electricity. You can feel it in the air here tonight. It's, I dare say, a sort of playoff feel. These two have played in some dandy ball games over the course of time.
Yeah, last year was kind of the exception to that as Fitch jumped out to an early lead and held on in that ball game. But certainly you look around the stadium, a big crowd here tonight. I mean, these are two big football teams in the area, and they're going to battle it out here in week 1. Usually these types of battles we see week 9, week 10, but we're getting a preview of it right here in week number 1.
The Warren Harding Raiders won the toss. They elect to take the football. So we will get a look at LaShawn Daniels right from the get-go here in just a moment. Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team down on the field, Vicky Magyar. Down to you.
Hi, guys. Well, there are definitely some electricity going on down here, a lot of mixed emotions. It's the home team for Austintown tonight, so they're very excited. But the Warren Harding Raiders are very quiet, very just cool and collective out here, and they're getting excited for this game. Some may say it's the calm before the storm, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I noticed that as well as they came out. It was Austintown Fitch bursting out of the tunnel. It was Warren Harding walking out very calm and cool and collected, as Vicky said, and it kind of mimics their head coach. Coach Arnold is the kind of coach, he's very even keel. He'll get fiery at times, but he says you can't allow those emotions to take over for you.
Yeah, we were down on the field way before the game when we saw the Harding buses pull in. You know, they got off the bus. They were business-like. They weren't hooting and hollering. They went in that locker room, came out, and did their drills, and, boy, they're business-like out here tonight.
So as we said, it will be Warren Harding getting the football first. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this one. First for the Warren Harding Raiders, led by the quarterback Lamar Carmichael. The player to watch, number 28, LaShawn Daniels. And he comes from a great pedigree. We'll talk about a little bit more as we move along. Jalen Powell, the wide receiver, played quarterback last year. Jalen Powell is all set to take the field and hopefully make some things happen. Defensively for Austintown Fitch, the big cog on that defensive group, Billy Price. He'll really anchor that. He's a future Ohio State Buckeye. He made a big-time impact last season, and he has some very high hopes, he tells me, coming into this season. Both teams, when we visited with the Blue Chippers, both teams telling me that really they have high expectations for a postseason run here this season. Nick Shealy set to kick it off for Austintown Fitch. And we're underway. Driving kick into the end zone. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Warren G. Harding. On the return for Harding, hauling it in was Kente Johnson.
You know, right off the bat here, you have a new head coach, all new staff out there, and you see quite a large number of staff out there. Good staff. You see Jeff Bayek out there, a couple other Howland Tigers football coaches out there. And you know these kids want to come out here, Chad, and right off the bat start off good.
On first down, run play over the right side. It's back to the line of scrimmage, maybe to the 21-yard line. There was not much running room whatsoever as Devin Gray was there to make the tackle for Austintown Fitch. Went with a quick hit. There you get a look at the great size for that Warren Harding offensive line.
Boy, and that's what Harding does. You know, they're not going to change it up just because they have a new coach. They're known for that ground and pound game, and I expect a lot of that here tonight. You're going to rely on those big fellas up front to move that defensive line of Fitch.
Receiver to each side. Coleman is the fullback. The running back is Daniels. And there's going to be an illegal procedure penalty called. A false start on Warren G. Harding as we get
Dead
the
ball,
call.
false start, number 62 offense, 5 yards, second down.
And when it comes to the beginning of the season, we always say these first couple games, you see a lot of penalties and a lot of cramping.
We saw a lot of that last night. Tony Montana is our referee here tonight. So the Raiders will come out, and it will be 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line. Two receivers far side to the left. LaShawn Daniels is the running back. They'll go to the air, firing deep downfield, incomplete. Raiders looking for a streaking Jalen Powell. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 play.
Well, if you're an offensive coach for Harding, you mark that down because you're coming back to that play. He had Powell open. just couldn't connect. And again, Lamar Carmichael, a new quarterback in this system, a junior. Didn't play quarterback last year, so again, we talked about the nerves in week 1. There's probably another example of it right there, and brings up a big 3rd down.
3rd and 15 from the 15-yard line. Fitch defense trying to get off the field. They'll bring Jalen Powell in motion. Carmichael rolling, looking to throw left side, swarmed upon and dropped. Loose football, and the Falcons pick it up. Fitch football, 1st and goal. Sam Orts pouncing on it. And that defensive front for Austintown. Fitch forcing the first turnover of the night, a big-time play.
Well, you look right in the middle. It's Ryan Sayers. Just beats his man off the ball, Chad, and disrupts that from the beginning. You know, all the talk is about Billy Price and the attention that he is going to command. But when you put that attention on a defensive lineman, those other defensive linemen get some one-on-one matchups. And Sam Orts is the guy that comes up with the fumble recovery. And boy, Phil Anarelli, you talk about an offense in a good position to start a game. You can't get much better than this.
Right place, right time for Orts. Onto the field, Matt Footcoast, the quarterback. Quickly onto the field. Keith Lawrence, a wide receiver, split near side to the left. Footcoast brings a man in motion. Footcoast turns, Footcoast gives. Tyrese Anderson bottled up in a hurry, and he is brought down. Javon Provett there to make the stop for Warren G. Harding.
Well, Tyrese Anderson is one of those guys, Chad, that really had to fill in last year. Will Mahone, now at Notre Dame, was banged up, and we talked about some of the younger guys for Fitch stepping up. And you know, last year as a junior, Tyrese Anderson was one of those guys, really came of age in this game last year.
Run play, Tyrese Anderson is stuffed, and he's going in reverse. Once again, Javon Provett clogging things up in the middle.
Well, Javon Provett is 2 for 2, 2 plays, 2 big tackles for a loss. Again, you can see he beats his man right up front. Matt Mullins, the center, was the guy that was supposed to block him, and boy, Provett just beat him right off the ball.
Anderson with 2 touchdowns last season. Footcoast to throw. Footcoast swarmed upon, firing end zone, and it's incomplete. Was intended for Tyler Grover, and he was open. However, Footcoast was under great duress, and he couldn't make an accurate throw.
Well, that Harding offense didn't start out the way Coach Arnold would want, but boy, he has to be proud of this defense. They took over about the 4-yard line, and they went nothing but backwards from there. And again, give credit to Matt Footcoast right there for staying on his feet and at least giving his team an opportunity.
All right, here we go. This is Ken Kilpatrick into attempt a field goal. 24 yards from the right hash. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and the kick is no good. So the Warren Harding defense holds after the early turnover. So many times we can see momentum shift. It shifted quickly in favor of Fitch, but what a job by Steve Arnold's defensive group.
Well, you know, we talk about the offense feeding off the defense and vice versa. And boy, if this Harding offense could feed off what that defense just gave them, and especially that guy right there, Javon Provett, if this Harding offense could take some of that energy and bottle it up here, they could certainly move the ball.
All right, so it will be 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. And we have a whistle, and we have a timeout called by the Warren Harding Raiders. 9:44 left to play in the opening quarter. No score from Falcon Stadium on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
You by Farmers National Bank, Columbian of.
Welcome back to Falcon Stadium. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Warren Harding. LaShawn Daniels, breaking tackles. Daniels dropped at the 26-yard line. 6-yard pickup. And he is a load to bring down Daniels with 850 rushing yards last season to go along with a half-dozen touchdowns. I visited with him earlier this week. As humble a young man as you'll ever find, very down-to-earth, and you sometimes don't see that with blue-chip type of athletes. He's a good one, and he takes the handoff again. That time he's stacked up as he pushes his way ahead for another yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Well, right there in that play, you talk about blue chip athletes. You had an Ohio State player going against a Boston College player because Billy Price came off of his block and was the first guy to meet him. And although he didn't make that tackle, and there's a look at Billy Price right there, certainly slowed it down, and that's what makes this a 3rd down play right here.
They'll officially call it 3rd down and 3, and we have a whistle and I think an equipment problem on the far side of the field. The officials trying to help fasten a belt, I believe, or something to that effect. Yeah, that is Marcus Boomer coming off. He has a broken belt, perhaps. We don't need anybody's belt to come popping off. Checking into the football game is Deontay Morgan to replace Marcus Boomer. Here we go, 3rd down. They'll now call it a long 2. They'll bring a man in motion. Run play goes to the fullback, John Coleman. Coleman pushes his way, and it's a Harding 1st down.
And there's an example. You have a good tailback in LaShawn Daniels, and so much emphasis is put on stopping him. You get the quick hitter with the fullback up the middle, and he's able to pick up those big yards to pick up that 1st down. He really got a nice block up front from the tight end, Geldon Kruholtz.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Harding has kept it to the ground for the most part after some early passing attempts. LaShawn Daniels brought down across the 30, and he's down at the 32-yard line.
And you talked about it. Look at the size of those offensive linemen for Harding. You know, you want to talk about a grounded pound game. You got some hogs out in front of you to make some holes. I mean, you compare them to the size of the Fitch defensive line, and well, I think you're talking a 50, 60-pound difference per man.
And we have another officials timeout. Billy Price needing some work on his helmet. It gives us an opportunity to remind you, you can vote for the Big 22. 5 blocks of granite brought to you by Wedgwood Pizza, Youngstown Granite, and the Baranski Companies. Go to myvalleysports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football linemen from our area. They fake the handoff to Daniels. They'll dump it off. It's an incomplete pass intended for the fullback, John Coleman. Trapped it, it hit the ground, and so.
You know, and I think, Chad, the pass is the element of this offense. If Harding's going to make some noise this year and try to make the playoffs, the pass is something that they're going to have to start to capitalize. You know, and these are the types of passes we're talking about. We don't expect that quarterback to throw it 40, 50 yards down the field, but those little intermediate routes, you start picking those up, boy, does it do wonders for the run game.
3rd down and 9 from the 32-yard line. We'll see if the Raiders will go to the air. Lamar Carmichael is under center with an I formation behind him. Carmichael trips, falls down. Sometimes the turf monster will come up and make the tackle. He tripped under his own 2 feet. He's obviously frustrated. They were going to go to the air.
Yeah, C.J. Martini will never get an easier sack than that one right there. Again, a new quarterback, nerves, first game, and Fitch defense did a nice job of tightening up there.
Yeldon Krenholtz is there to punt it away out of Denmark. And that one will hit down at the 31. It is picked up, and it's probably a bad idea. On the return, it's Tyler Grover, and he loses yardage on that return. It'll be 1st and 10 Fitch when we come back. No score on the myvalleysports.com high school football game of the week.
When Friday's game turns into Saturday's pain, there's Howland Orthopedics and Sports.
This quarter of the game.
Welcome back to Fitch Falcons Stadium. Falcons with a football. Footcoast fakes the handoff, wants to throw. Rolling to the right side, firing. Catch is made, and it's a 1st down. Austintown Fitch. The completion to Tyler Grover. Footcoast, a very heady quarterback, a very tough quarterback, according to Harding head coach Steve Arnold.
Footcoast got a lot of experience. You know, we keep referring to these injuries last year by Fitch. Footcoast was one of those guys that got a lot of experience due to that.
Billy Aaron is slammed to the turf, treated rudely. And to make the stop, it's Jalen Powell, Harding's Mr. Everything. So it's a loss of 3 yards on the run by Billy Aaron. And it's 2nd and 13. Footcoast wants to throw. Pumping once. He's trying to go for it all. And he's sacked at the 36-yard line. Yeldon Krugholtz busting through and bringing him down. And it's another loss on the play.
Going to try to go the hitch and go right there. The go route's not there. You can see good coverage down the field, and the pressure just comes from the backside. And it's Krugholtz along with his teammates Chance Harper getting in there for the sack.
3rd and 17. Footcoast working out of the shotgun, rolling to the near side. Footcoast dumps it off. Catch is made by Aaron. Aaron is pushed backwards at the 46. LeBrandon Watson there to make the tackle. And Fitch will have to punt. I'm particularly impressed by this Harding defensive group early in this first quarter.
Boy, they just seem energized, don't they? I mean, you know, I thought originally when he caught that football, Billy Aaron, right there, I thought he had some room out in front of him. But look how close those Harding defenders get and how many of those black helmets they get to the football.
Nick Shealy in punt formation for Austintown Fitch. Low snap, it's handled. It's a high driving punt. Jalen Powell is the return man that's back. He's not going to get a chance. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Warren Harding with 4:55 left to play here in quarter number 1 in a scoreless ball game. Austintown Fitch had a chance, but they missed a 24-yard field goal attempt.
And I think at this point the referees are going to take their own time out to get some drinks for both of these teams. We see this often, and the referees are instructed by this by the state when it's over a certain temperature to get these players hydrated so that come the 3rd and 4th quarter, we don't have cramps every 5 or 10 plays.
I brought your big water jug up here so you can stay hydrated. We don't need you cramping up here.
I always appreciate that, except when at the end of the game, oftentimes you pour it over my head.
That's usually only after a win. We usually don't win, however. In any event, it's a heck of a week 1 that we have. Of course, last night we had a barn burner between Columbiana and Crestview. The Rebels coming away with a victory. Here tonight, 2 of the larger programs in the entire area. Matt Footcoast's Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Warren G. Harding Raiders. And of course tomorrow, a historic ball game that we're going to see, and we wrap up our week 1 triple header as Ursuline visits Youngstown East in the newly renovated Rayan Stadium. See it all tomorrow night at 10 p.m. right here on MyYTV. Antonucci Field will be our location. Looking forward to that one as well. Carmichael turns and gives to LaShawn Daniels, and he plows his way ahead to the 29-yard line. In visiting with Austintown Fitch athletic director Rob Conklin earlier, he said, boy, this has the makings of a very fast-paced type of a game. Last night it was a very long game, but these 2 teams really do stick it to the ground, and they keep it that way for the most part.
Absolutely. Both of them have good backs to rely on. And we talked about the Harding offensive line, and any back would love to run behind them.
Clock rolling, under 4:20 left in the opening quarter. Carmichael back up under center. Daniels is the tailback, and we have some movement on the left side. We'll see if it's Harding called. I believe it is. It's going to be Kalen Campbell.
Ball start, number 71.
The left
5
tackle.
yards, 2nd down.
Will back up the Raiders 5 yards for moving prematurely.
Well, if you're the Harding line coach, you love the fact you're Kalen Campbell's coming off so hard trying to get into that defender, just a little too early.
And so it'll be 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Jalen Powell is split as a wide receiver in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Carmichael fires to Powell. He makes the catch at the 25, puts on a move, spinning back free, and he's dropped at the 28. It's a pickup of 4 yards.
Well, I tell you what, give Keith Lawrence, you know, he has some safety help over the top, but he's one-on-one right there at the beginning of that route. And Powell catches that football, and watch the closing speed. Get a couple yards, and there you go. And then wait for the rest of that defense to come and help you out. Nice job by Keith Lawrence.
Spotted at the 29-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 5. Carmichael back up under center. I formation behind him for Harding. Carmichael fakes the handoff. Flush from the pocket. He's sacked at the 16-yard line. Busting through Corral Johnson on the corner blitz. And the Raiders will have to punt.
Well, ideally, Chad, you'd like your quarterback to feel that pressure from the backside. But again, you have a new quarterback in there. First time starting a varsity game and just doesn't feel that pressure. And Corral Johnson comes up with a big sack.
So the Raiders will punt it away. Eldon Kruholtz takes the snap and boots this one away. It's a twirling kick. And the fair catch is made by Tyler Grover. And Austintown Fitch will have it 1st and 10 with 2:34 left in the opening quarter here, week 1 of the high school football season.
Boy, when you look at this first quarter, boy, Fitch has had the field possession. They've won that battle, but if not put any points up there on that scoreboard to take advantage of it.
So here come the Austintown Fitch Falcons back out onto the field. Trying to get something going on an offensive end. It's been tough goings, at least in the early going. Footcoast takes the snap, rolling to the right side. Footcoast firing, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Tyler Grover. And there was a little bit of zip on that one, and Grover couldn't haul it in right along that far sideline.
Well, Footcoast was accurate that time. He rolled out of the pocket, nicely set his feet, and really threw that one in there. But like you said, Grover unable to handle the fastball.
So it brings up 2nd down and 10. From the 49-yard line, Fitch will operate with a tight formation. Footcoast working out of the gun. Turns and gives. Tyrese Anderson crosses the 50, and he's brought down at about the 47-yard line. Ty Howard there to make the stop for Warren Harding. Anderson, in last year's meeting against Warren Harding, came in and had a very efficient day. Total of 59 rushing yards. Found pay dirt a couple of times. Footcoast takes the snap, wants to throw, rolling right side, firing, and a catch is made, and a major league hit is put on. Catch is made by Corral Johnson, who came through with a sack at his cornerback position on the last defensive series for Austintown Fitch. He made the catch and paid the price.
See Coach Annarella getting his quarterback out of that pocket. We saw that pressure up the middle early on. Now you get Footcoast to the edges. Boy, you know, you talked about arm strength on that last play. He certainly threw another fastball right there. Johnson able to handle it.
All right, so we have an injured Raider coming off, and it's Ty Howard. And he's going to get some attention along that sideline. So it's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Footcoast will work. He turns and gives Tyrese Anderson. Puts his head down. He's inside the 35 and wrestled down at the 34-yard line.
Well, the thing I like about Anderson is how quick he hits that hole. I mean, it may be a 4 or 5 yard game, but he doesn't dance around back there. He just hits the hole and goes.
Run play goes to Anderson into the open field. Here goes Anderson. 10, 5, walked out at the 4. Jimmy Rumpel there to make the stop, and a big-time run for Tyrese Anderson.
Well, I just got done saying he doesn't dance around, but that play he had to dance around a little bit. But boy, once he gets around the edge, there's the little dance right there. But watch how quickly he turns it on. And he shows you his speed in the open field and his vision right there as he runs through an arm tackle of Deontay Morgan.
Footcoast rolling to the right side, dumping it off, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Billy Aaron. And we have an injured Warren Harding Raider down in the middle of the field. Footkos rolling and nearly able to complete the pass. It's Yeldon Kruholtz who had a sack earlier in the first quarter. And he'll have to be attended to thanks to an injury.
Well, he's an important player for this team. He plays tight end. He's also their punter. Obviously defensive end as well. So hopefully he'll return to the ball game quickly.
He's 6'3", 230. Big player for that Raider defense. Say every week we'll pick the PNC Bank player of the game. It's one player that has made the greatest impact. That player receives a hoodie from Nightline Embroidery and Screen Print. Will feature the player of the game every Monday night at 11 on 27 First News. So Kruholtz is going to be attended to. And it'll be second down and goal from the 5. Austintown Fitch with a theme of wrangle the Raiders in the student section. Footkos turns and gives Aaron up the middle, driving towards that goal line. Touchdown! Five-yard touchdown run. Falcons draw first blood.
Billy Aaron, the senior, not the biggest back, but big enough on this play. There you see a nice kick-out block by Andrew Lamanikuso. Just keeps those legs churning. Late call from the sideline, but you can see he's not on the ground. He's stretching that ball out, and they'll take it.
Extra point try is up, and it is good. Ken Kilpatrick makes it 7-0 with 60 seconds left. Austintown Fitch finally able to get something going on the offensive side on a consistent basis.
Boy, they had to. As I tell you what, we talked about the field position and them not being able to take advantage of it. They did so that time with a nice mix of run and pass on that drive, and finally running it in there for the touchdown.
And so, see if the Raiders now can answer back. Harding had the bulk of the momentum in this first quarter, coming up with a couple of big-time defensive stops. But again, we'll see how that momentum shifts now when you face a little adversity. That's something that Coach Arnold talked to me about. He said the key for this group, this Warren Harding team, is overcoming that adversity. They faced a lot of it last season. He said when they faced that adversity, they seem to kind of crumble at times. He's trying to change the culture.
And I think he's the perfect guy to do it. You know, you talk about his lack of head coaching experience on a varsity level, but he's been a basketball coach. He knows how to motivate. He knows how to talk to kids, and you know that goes a long way. And no matter what sport you know you're coaching.
All right, here we go. Nick Shealy has it teed up. There is Steve Arnold. As we take a look at the drive summary, 7 plays, 51 yards, took 94 seconds. Capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Billy Aaron. So Shealy to kick it off. A trio of return men back deep for Warren Harding. Shealy with the approach. Liftoff, and it's a high driving kick that again travels into the end zone. That's quite a weapon. You don't see lots of high school kickers that can put it in the end zone, but it eliminates the opportunity for a big play with that great speed and athleticism of Harding on special teams.
Yeah, with LaShawn Daniels and Kente Johnson back there to receive, you could take them out of the ball game, at least on the special teams part of it. You've done yourself a great service, and that's certainly what Shealy's able to do for this Falcon special teams unit.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Carmichael brings a man in motion. He will turn and give to the fullback, John Coleman. Coleman puts his head down, plowing forward, and he's up near a Raiders first down.
I'm surprised at this point in the ballgame we haven't seen more of LaShawn Daniels. I mean, coming into this, you know, I know he wasn't a 1,000-yard rusher last year, but he had some injuries, and he was basically not on a very good football team, but I thought we'd see a little more of him in the first quarter.
Pickup of 9 on the play, 2nd down and short, 2nd and 1. High formation behind Carmichael. They give it to Daniels. Daniels up the middle, first down and more. And he's across the 40 and out to the 41-yard line. Ask and you shall receive. Daniels moves the chains and then some.
And I'll tell you, he's a weapon I think you really got to use. And watch the power. You know, we talked about him as being that combo back, the guy that could run you over and run right past you. And look at him keeping those feet moving and brings the helmet with him.
Harding back to the line of scrimmage. The fullback is Coleman. Daniels is the running back. They bring a man in motion and give it to Daniels, and he falls forward on what in all likelihood will be the final play here of quarter number 1. So 1 quarter in the books here at Fitch Falcon Stadium. We head to the second quarter with your score. Austintown Fitch 7, Warren Harding nothing. Second quarter action follows these words on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add vanishing deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
Best of luck.
All set for the second quarter. Fitch with a 7-0 lead. Harding trying to answer back. Play action pass. Carmichael stepping up. He will run and he's dropped. Carmichael dropped rudely onto the turf. Big time hit as he couldn't make anything happen in that particular play. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 opportunity.
Well, you got to give Carmichael a little credit. That was a busted play. Either he went the wrong way or the fullback did, John Coleman, but he makes a positive something out of it, but it still brings up a long 3rd down.
3rd and 7 from the 43-yard line. LaShawn Daniels dotting the I formation. 1 receiver near side to the left. There you see the rushing numbers, very even to this point. Carmichael takes the snap, wants to throw, looking, firing, incomplete. Pass was intended for Marcus Boomer. He couldn't haul it in. And it will bring up a 4th down play, and Harding will have to punt.
It almost looked like Boomer stopped his route. But then again, it could have been Carl Johnson that stopped his route for him. But Johnson with 2 big defensive plays here in the last 2 series.
All right, so in punt formation comes Steve Arnold's team. And good to see the punter, Yeldon Kruholtz, back in there. He blasts a high driving kick. And it is caught by Carell Johnson on the fair catch, and that will set things up 1st down and 10 for Austintown Fitch.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll just say what.
And let's bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Vicky Magyar, who has an update on Kruholtz.
Yes, number 87, Kruholtz, he had a solid helmet to the left side in the rib area, but trainers told me that they're working on him. He said he's going to shake it off and get right back in the game, obviously.
And he's able to get right back into the football game, and that's good news for Steve Arnold's team. Meanwhile, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 33 for Austintown Fitch. Footcoast operating out of the shotgun. They give it to Anderson. Anderson dipsy-doos his way. Couldn't get free from that right side of the defensive front. And it'll bring up 2nd down, and looks like 11. Loss of a yard on the play. So Footcoast will operate out of the shotgun. He turns and he gives. Tyrese Anderson is dropped once again. He lost another yard on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down all of a sudden.
Well, if there's any question if Yeldon Kruholtz is feeling any better, I think he answers it right there with a big hit in the backfield. Does a nice job from that DN position, really coming down the line of scrimmage and making that play.
So 3rd down and a dozen for Austintown Fitch. Footcoast. Long count, takes the snap, rolling to the near side. Footcoast looking downfield, and he's sacked. Chance Harper busting free. bringing foot goes to the turf. It's 4th down. Fitch will have to punt.
Boy, and that speed of that Harding defense is really hard to deal with if you're this Austintown offense. But again, watch the closing speed. Foot goes looking downfield, and before he can even plant those feet, Chance Harper just bears down on him. And there's a good look at the senior linebacker right there, number 17.
Shealy into punt and gets away. A very high kick, which will bounce out of bounds right at about the 41-yard line, where Warren Harding will set up shop. 1st and 10, and they'll take over when we come back. 9:14 left in the first half. Still 7-0 Fitch on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. 40 and out to the 42-yard line. Not much running room. Again, defense the theme in this first half of play. Neither team able to really break anything of any significance.
And a lot of times at the beginning of the season, you think the defenses are ahead of the offenses, especially in this Harding sense, and the fact that you're bringing a new system here this year. But some hitting going on out there for week number 1.
LaShawn Daniels takes the handoff, still on his feet, breaking tackles across the 45, out to the 46-yard line for a gain of 4 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 4.
But I think that's the aspect of his game that I'm guessing those Boston College coaches love. Is, first of all, you talked about how humble of a kid he is, but right there, the willingness to keep fighting for that extra yardage.
3rd down and 4. They spotted at the 47-yard line. See if the Raiders can convert. Daniels, 34 rushing yards to this point of the ball game. Carmichael turns and gives to Daniels, and Daniels is tripped up right at the line. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down play for Harding.
C.J. Martini, that time the linebacker, really does a nice job of blitzing right in the hole where Daniels is running to make that play.
So Steve Arnold's team will punt the football. Coach Arnold has assembled a very veteran coaching staff. We'll get to that more in just a bit as Kruholtz takes the snap and gets away a driving kick, which will hit at the 19 and take a Fitch bounce, and it'll be spotted at the 23. 1st down and 10 for the Fitch Falcons with 7:20 left here in quarter number 2. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy, Vicky Magyar with you here from Fitch Falcon Stadium. Week number 1 of the 2012 campaign. Hope Springs eternal for all teams in the area, and it'll be not too far down the road when we're already looking to the postseason. It always seems to fly by. They call it, as we've always talked about, the fastest 10 weeks.
Yeah, it goes fast, and right now we're in short sleeves and we're sweating, and boy, 9 weeks from now we'll have our hats on and our winter coats, but it'll be just as fun watching some good high school football.
No doubt. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Footcoast brings a man in motion. He fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. And Footcoast is stacked up, keeps the legs churning, but then is shoved backwards, and he is stopped for a very short, minimal gain.
When I talked about this earlier, you know, Coach Arnold has to love the fact that his defense is getting to the football in mass. I mean, there's 7-8 guys getting to the running back every single time. And again, you look at the hitting early on in this football game. You know, 2-a-days in scrimmages, you're not getting hit like this. But this is what gets you experience to get you to that week 10 that we talked about.
Other equipment malfunction dealt with on Deontay Morgan's helmet. 2nd down and 8 from the 25, and we have a penalty flag. It comes from the backside. Could be an illegal substitution, or perhaps too many men on the field for Warren Harding, but we'll see.
I think they're going to wave this one off. I think that was the original intent.
No penalty on the play. No penalty on the play.
Yeah, the original 10 was too many men on the field. You saw number 10 for Harding, Deontay Morgan, run out there, but he was that 11th guy.
Everything all set to go. 2nd and 8 from the 25-yard line. Footkos operating out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, rolling to the left side. Footkos is sacked at the 17-yard line. Chance Harper, his second sack of the ball game.
Boy, his second sack in about 3 plays. And again, the closing speed. Matt Footkos just can't deal with the closing speed. You see him sprint out, something they started doing early in that first quarter to try to get him some space to throw the football, but Chance Harper right on top of him.
3rd down and 13. They'll spot the ball right at the 20-yard line. 2 wide receivers, near side to the right, 1 far side to the left. Billy Aaron to the right of the quarterback, Matt Footkos, who takes the snap, rolling to the near side. Footkos floats it downfield, incomplete, as that pass was intended for Keith Lawrence. Tiptoe on the near sideline. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th and 13, and that Harding defense does it again.
Yeah, that's what you get when you start getting pressure on that quarterback and you start getting sacks on that quarterback. That quarterback wants to get rid of that football, and sometimes it's a little earlier than he wants to do it to avoid the sack, and that's what happens to Footkos right there.
So here we go. Shealy gets away a high driving kick, which is taken at the 44 by Powell. He's to the middle of the field. Loose football, and it's out of bounds. So Harding dodges a bullet. The Raiders will hang on to possession of the ball. It'll be 1st and 10. Great field position for Harding on that play. Setting things up for this coming drive. And we have an official's timeout. As we get a look at Billy Price, the future Ohio State Buckeye. A chance for the players to stay as hydrated as possible. Say, we are all well aware that there will be some great plays through the course of the night coming up after this one. Ralph and I will select the Dr. William Woods play of the night. We had about 400 to choose from last night in your absence.
I did watch it last night, though. Did a fine job. Good game to watch.
It was a great way to start the season. A shootout. Crestview coming away with a victory. Not much to cheer about on the offensive side for the Warren Harding Raiders. They hope to change it on this current possession. So Lamar Carmichael operates out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right. Carmichael floats it over to the right side. Caught at the 40, 35. Jalen Powell breaks the tackle and he tiptoes his way out of bounds. 1st and 10 Raiders.
Well, you look at that little screen pass right there to Jalen Powell, and obviously Powell's a great athlete, but what makes it work is Kevin Vingle. Watch number 12 come up with this block. Well, he's out of your picture right there, but he originally got that separation that allowed Powell to get out in the space, and you see his athletic ability stretching every yard out of that play.
5:36 left in the first half. Harding on the move. Carmichael out of the gun with LaShawn Daniels to his left. Trips near side to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Carmichael to throw. Bubble screen, firing near side. It is complete inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Marcus Boomer on the receiving end.
You want to help your run game, start throwing some of those screens. Start throwing those little dump passes, and that run game in that middle will open up fine.
When it's all said and done, it's a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 for Warren Harding. Kevin Vingle split as a wide receiver, far side to the right, another receiver near side to the left. Marcus Boomer turns on a drop play. This is LaShawn Daniels plowing forward for another Harding first down.
Tyler Grover's going to get credit for that tackle, but I think LaShawn Daniels tackled him at the end of that run. And again, nice little draw play there. Able to build up some speed when he hits that first line of defense, and watch him finish this run.
1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Daniels is still in there at running back. Carmichael turns, gives, Daniels breaking free. He's in. Touchdown!
Well, they were down there early in the ball game, could not take advantage of it, and they do so right there.
12-yard touchdown run for LaShawn Daniels. He willed his way into the end zone.
And again, you look at the blocks out front. Nice job by Jake Amarin getting that block, but what a hard-nosed, strong runner.
So the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Dominic Jones trying to tack on the extra point. Out of the hold of Jimmy Rumpel. Snap back, ball down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:31 left to play in the first half. We are tied at 7 on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
I'm Jim Lowboy.
To kick off the season with a week.
LaShawn Daniels putting Harding on the scoreboard for the first time this season. 12-yard touchdown run, capping off a 4-play, 43-yard drive. And he was truly the workhorse on that possession. Ensuing kickoff is a driving kick taken by Aaron at the 9. Across the 10 to the 15, and Aaron is dropped at the 19. Great special teams coverage by Keith Adams. First and 10. Upcoming for Fitch.
Boy, it looked like he had some room to run. And again, we talked about closing speed. There's a nice open field tackle by Keith Adams.
So they'll spot it at the 20-yard line. Back out comes Matt Footkos and company. Tyrese Anderson joining Footkos to his left. 2 receivers to the left, 2 near side to the right. They give it to Tyrese Anderson. Anderson busting free. He's ahead to the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You look at Anderson, 5'70", 5'7", 150, and not a real big back, but even in the small stature, it's hard to find a lane to run in.
They keep it to the ground. Run play, which goes to Tyrese Anderson. And Anderson pushes his way across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It's a first down, Austintown Fitch.
Well, what you got to love about that run, it's Matt Footkos, the quarterback, that gets out in front of his back to make that block, to make that a positive gain.
All right, so here we go. Footkos in a hurry. Anderson to his left. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Footkos this time keeps it himself, and he's dropped at the 38. They may give him the 39-yard line. Keith Adams there to make the stop for Harding.
All of a sudden, this Fitch offense seems a little energized right here towards the end of this second quarter.
A little pep in the Falcons' step. 2nd and 2 from the 39. Footkos turns and gives. No, he doesn't. He'll keep it himself, and he's across the 45 and up near the 46-yard line. Heck of a fake by Footkos. Stuck it in the breadbasket of Anderson, and then was able to hold on to it as we have an injured Warren Harding Raider. It's Roger Craig. He's going to need some medical attention.
There's a good look at Roger Craig, the defensive tackle, and we've called his name more than a few times on the game of the week. Haven't called it much here tonight, but I remember last year had a good game against Howland. Hopefully this is just one of those cramping issues that we always deal with in the first couple weeks, but that's best case scenario. And boy, hasn't it seemed, Chad, that this whole first half has been played on this side of the 50. I mean, this action has been right in front of us.
So Craig continues to be attended to. Injury timeout. It gives us an opportunity to remind you that you can vote for the Big 22 Player of the Year. It's brought to you by Antone's Banquet Center. Roger Craig walking off the field under his own power. See exactly what happened to Craig, perhaps.
It almost seems like his leg gave out, and maybe that's cramp related, or maybe he just hyperextended it, but we'll see if he gets back in this ball game soon.
Run play, Tyrese Anderson up the middle into Harding territory, down near the 47, maybe the 46-yard line. Under 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Quickly back to scrimmage come the Falcons. Foot coast, turns, gives, Anderson. It's very little.
You know, this is also the point in the game, Chad, where if you think you're in better shape than your opponent, you go that hurry up and you see if you can make these 2 minutes or 2:37 that's left hard on that defense by not giving them a breather. And it looks like that's what Coach Annarella is doing. He's getting them to the line quickly, getting that play in quickly.
1st and 10 from the 43. Foot coast looking to go to the air. Foot coast firing. Catch is made inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line. Holding it in, Keith Lawrence. 1st and 10, Austintown Fitch.
Boy, give Matt Footcoast credit. He's taking a beating back there tonight on some of those sacks, and they're getting him out of the pocket, but he stays in there, and he knows the pressure's coming. Yet he stays in there, and he throws a nice ball.
Run play, Tyrese Anderson, and he takes a licking at the 21. Jalen Powell.
Boy, Powell's all over the football field, offense and defense. And, you know, we talked about him going to Michigan State, and they recruited him as an athlete. So they feel that, hey, we'll bring him here and we'll put him somewhere because he's that good of a player.
And we have a whistle, and we have what? A timeout called by the Warren Harding Raiders. And it comes with 2:01 left to play here in quarter number 2. In a 7-7 ball game, we saw a high-scoring affair last night and a low-scoring affair here. Your impressions at this juncture of the first half as Phil Annarella addresses his team as his offensive group trying to recapture the lead going into the locker room.
Yeah, my impression so far is I think the defenses of both of these teams are ahead of the offense. I think these defenses have a lot of athleticism, and they're really getting to the football, and the coaches should be proud of that. Offenses really haven't got into sync, and now with this fast-paced offense that Fitch is doing right now, it seems like they're getting in sync a little bit. And I think Coach Steve Arnold calls that timeout right there because his defense is gassed.
That's one thing that happens. We talked about it a great deal last night with a lot of cramping, is the fact that you can do all the conditioning in the world, but the fact remains, when you play that first game, it's a whole different animal.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, these players are feeling it right there. They're going to welcome this halftime break. But Fitch has a little business here to do in this last 2 minutes.
2nd down and 6 from the 21-yard line. Footcoast brings a man in motion. He fakes the handoff, and he'll give it to Tyrese Anderson, who spins free inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. A lot of misdirection, a lot of fake handoffs. Anderson, the beneficiary there, with some good hard running, and he tried to put that spin on as we get back to live action. Anderson that time spins right into one of those big bodies for Warren Harding up front, and there wasn't much of an opening at all.
Yeah, I was going to give credit to that Fitch offensive line these last couple plays. That time let him down a little bit.
$70 yards for Tyrese Anderson. Footcoast to throw, firing, and it's almost intercepted.
That was intended for Corral Johnson. He took a hit, and he's slow to get up after that one. Footcoast really tried to fit that one in a tight spot.
So it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 10. Chance for the Fitch Falcons to take the lead into the locker room. Footcoast with Tyrese Anderson to his right. Footcoast brings a man in motion. He fakes the handoff. Footcoast keeps it himself. Up the middle. Footcoast trying to will his way into the end zone, and he's not successful in crossing that plane. And it's going to bring up a fourth down play from the 3. What do you do if you're Coach Annarella?
He has a lot more experience than I do, and it looks like he's going to keep that offense out there. It depends on how much trust you have in your kicker this early in the season.
Clock continues to roll as you see Coach Annarella. I think he's going to allow a lot of this time to wind on down, and now he'll call a timeout, and it comes with 36.6 seconds left.
Well, we talked about Coach Annarella in the open. 191 wins at the varsity level, and well, his Fitch Falcons could get him 9 wins this year. Could go over that 200 mark, and well, there's not many guys that could say they have 2.
Can you lose all of that momentum? So it's fourth down and goal from the 3-yard line. Footcoast back at the controls. Out of the shotgun. Footcoast with a long count. He now looks towards the far sideline. And we have a timeout called. And they surveyed the scene. Didn't really like the defensive alignment that they were facing. So another timeout called.
Yeah, and they tried to do a little hard count there to make that 3 yards, 1.5 yards, and then maybe you take a chance. But I think at this point you go out there, you do the hard count, you don't get the penalty. Don't like what you see on defense, and at this time I think maybe you send your kicker out there.
This is going to be a 20-yard field goal attempt, and it's going to come from the right hash mark.
Yeah, the first one he kicked wasn't much longer than this.
It was 24 yards, as I recall. So Kilpatrick to give Fitch the lead. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and Kilpatrick blasts it through. So with 32.6 seconds left, Austintown Fitch tacks on 3, and it's Fitch 10, Warren Harding 7. You had to come out of that drive with some points if you're the Falcons.
Oh, absolutely, especially in this battle that has been defensive based this whole game. Any points you get up on the board is going to help you take the lead going to halftime, and I think you give that offense and defense, if you're Fitch, a little bit of confidence heading into that locker room.
I'll tell you what, something else to consider is the fact that Austintown Fitch will receive the second half kickoff. So you have that 3-point lead. There's not really that extreme sense of urgency playing from behind. You can.
Well, you talked about it a couple of minutes ago. You have 32 seconds left in the half. If you're Fitch, you got to keep them in front of you. You know, you got to keep maybe squib kick it, keep them in front of you, and don't let a silly play here before half get Harding and back on that scoreboard.
Kente Johnson is the deep man trying to return this kick by Sheely. He will get an opportunity, I believe. Nope, he won't. It was a half yard, maybe a full yard in the end zone. He wanted to bring that one out, but the officials blow it. Touchback. That the Warren Harding Raiders are just going to take a knee here and head to the locker room content, trailing by 3. So Carmichael takes a knee, and the clock has not started for one reason or another. Now it has started, and they may have to snap it one more time, but maybe not.
Well, I'm sure that back judge didn't start his counting until that clock did start. So this should take him into halftime.
So the final 11 seconds tick on down, and we head to halftime in what has been a very good first half of Division I football. Your halftime score: Austintown Fitch 10, Warren Harding 7. Halftime highlights, numbers, and more. Follow these words. Week 1 of the high school football season. At the half, Fitch leading Harding 10-7 in week 1 of the high school football season. Hi again, everybody. Chad Krispinski alongside Ralph Sandy. Ralph, it was a defensive theme in that first half, especially early on, and it was a fired-up team from Warren Harding. 1-0. And we are all set for the third quarter of football here at Falcon Stadium. Ralph, what are your keys for each side to come away with a victory in week number 1.
You know, I think the key is the same for both of these teams. It's conditioning. How much work did you put in over the summer to get you ready for what's going to be a close third and fourth quarter? Because your conditioning, we saw it tail off a little bit for Harding there in the second quarter. Who's going to have that energy in the fourth quarter when this game is a field goal difference?
The officials will certainly be cognizant of that. We've seen a number of
getting these guys hydrated, and that shows that both of these teams are in good shape. But will that continue in the third and fourth quarter?
Keep in mind, Austintown Fitch will get the ball to start things here in the third quarter.
Here, much more comfortable and comfortable on the sidelines. That guy right there, Phil Annarella, he's comfortable.
Comfortable with a 3-point lead, but not resting on his laurels. His Falcons will get the football to start things off. And set to kick things off, it's Charles Wargo. 3 return men back deep for Austintown Fitch. And at long last, we will get this third quarter underway. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what's left, the second half of football here in week number 1. Wargo makes the approach, and he blasts it downfield. And the kick is taken across the 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, 25, 40, plus the 40, out to the 43-yard line. On the return, it's Keith Lawrence setting up shop for the Falcons. Good work on special teams for Austintown Fitch.
Well, really throughout that first half, I think Fitch had dominated field position, and now starting here this third quarter, they're going to start with good field position as well. Nice return there by Keith Lawrence, the senior.
So 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Falcons come out on the offensive end. Matt Footkos takes the snap. He'll turn and give to Aaron. Aaron, 45-50. Aaron puts his head down, and he's down to the Harding 45, maybe the 44.
I think Billy Aaron shows you his speed right there as he turned that corner. He had it going full speed right about here. And he's just looking downfield where he wants to cut that up. And that's a nice gain on first down.
Footkos keeps it himself. He's inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line.
Well, you see the Fitch comes out just like they ended that second quarter. Fast pace, getting to the line of scrimmage, getting the plays called quickly, and taking it right to him.
2nd and 8 from the 43-yard line. Fitch on the move early in the third quarter. Footkos turns and gives. One play over the right side, and Aaron was tripped up at the 39. He had a full head of steam, but he just was brought down. Otherwise, he still may be running.
Yeah, and he looks a little banged up right there as he gets to the sideline. Hopefully that's just something simple, and he'll be back in the football game. But again, look at the fast pace this Fitch offense has assumed.
3rd and 4 from the 39. Footkos around the right side. Footkos is swarmed upon and dropped. He's going to be short of a first down. And it is going to bring up a 4th down play. And what do you do if you're Phil Annarella now?
Well, I mean, your defense has played well all night. I guess you maybe ask for a measurement here just to see how close you are. It looks like a little over a yard from where we're standing.
Falcons are going to keep the offensive unit out on the field. Footkos with a long count. Keeps it himself. Footkos is dropped to the backfield. What a play by Ty Howard.
Ty Howard, the junior, along that defensive line, stays home, doesn't bite on the fake to the middle. Maintains his responsibility. And there you see the nice play fake. There you see the pulling guard coming to try to get something. But he fights off his block nicely and makes that play.
How will that stop? Change things for Warren Harding. Moving forward in the third quarter. Pivotal play. Big defensive stop. Lamar Carmichael under center. Carmichael pitches to Daniels. Daniels dropped at the 35-yard line. Billy Price wrestling him down. And Price told me earlier in the week, he said, I'm going to learn a lot about myself by going against a talent like LaShawn Daniels, a couple of Division I recruits locking horns there. Price getting the better end.
Yeah, we haven't called his name that much here tonight, and I'm sure that's motivating him in that locker room, saying, hey, I haven't made a lot of plays for my teams there in that first half. Got double-teamed a lot. Was able to fight through at that time, make a nice play.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Lamar Carmichael on a drop play, gives to Daniels. Daniels into the open field. Daniels breaking tackles and brought down at the 40-yard line. He almost broke the big one.
Yeah, Keith Lawrence, one of the cornerbacks on the far side, able to bring him down, but just barely. And nice timing on this drop play. Good block out front, sealing Price. And then it's just the speed of LaShawn Daniels getting down the field, running through arm tackles. You're not going to bring that big boy down with an arm tackle in the open field.
1st and 10 from the 41. Warren Harding on the move after a big offensive run. Daniels up the middle. Daniels busting through inside the 25, down to the 22, maybe the 21.
You know, you talk about this all the time, whether it's the NFL, whether it's college, high school. Big backs get better as the game goes along. You get a tired defense, not getting in position. They want to tackle with their arms. They're not hitting as hard. He'll run right through those.
Under 9 minutes to play. Go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe that's why Coach Arnold didn't pound the ball so much with him in that first half, saving him maybe for a tired defense.
From the 23-yard line, 1st down and 10. They'll keep it to the ground. This time Daniels is stood up. Billy Price, once again, was trying to strip that football free. Ryan Sayers, the big defensive lineman, was also there to collaborate on the stop. And that time, Price says, not again.
Yeah, Price is doing a nice job. Seems extra motivated here in the 3rd quarter. And Sayers is the same player that caused that fumble in the 1st quarter in the backfield. Getting some good penetration there.
2nd and 10. From the 23-yard line, Lamar Carmichael with a long count. Carmichael fakes the handoff, wants to throw, firing, incomplete. Oh, my. Pass was intended for Yeldon Kruholtz, who was open, had a couple of steps, but the pass was off the mark. And again, you talked about the importance of precise, accurate passing.
Yeah, and those little passes make a huge difference. You notice they run. They're starting to stack that line of scrimmage again. If you want to loosen up that defense, those are the passes you have to complete. And you're talking about a tight end that's 6'3", 230, has a size mismatch out there. You got to get the ball in his hands.
3rd and 10 from the 23-yard line. Lamar Carmichael under center. I formation. Carmichael to throw. Carmichael flashed. Carmichael dropped at the 26-yard line. Loss of 3 on the sack. Busting free, Gary Gibson. And it's 4th down, Harding.
Yeah, Gary Gibson coming in there. Wasn't a starter, but does play a lot. And look at this. He's going to track this play all the way down from the backside. And does a nice job of making that tackle. There you see Gibson, the junior linebacker, only 5'7", quick linebacker off the edge, getting that sack.
Tell you what, Warren Harding is going to go for it. 4th down and a dozen. From the 26-yard line, a receiver split to each side. I formation behind Carmichael. Carmichael takes the snap, fakes the handoff, wants to throw. Carmichael floats it downfield, and it is incomplete. Penalty flags down. There was a lineman, the only player in the vicinity.
Well, I think that was designed to be that throwback screen where you roll out to your right, let the whole play develop, throw it back. But there was too much penetration, and those Fitch defensive linemen stayed home. They knew that was coming, and you're going to see the intentional grounding call is going to be waved off. Fitch are going to decline it. Well, there you see Billy Price right there. He recognizes the play. You see him at the top of your screen. He sticks with LaShawn Daniels, and he just blows up that play. And like I said, we didn't call Price's name very much in that first half, but I think we've called it 4 or 5 times already here in the 3rd quarter.
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 of the turnover on downs. Austintown Fitch dodges a bullet. That was a very good-looking drive for Harding.
And again, it comes down to Harding being able to complete some short passes, and so far they haven't showed the ability to do that. So you stack the line of scrimmage and you stop LaShawn Daniels in that run game.
1st and 10 from the 26. Run play up the middle. Tyrese Anderson up the middle. Anderson brought down at the 46. O'Shea Jackson wrestling him down. What a speed burst for Tyrese Anderson.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with him. Really came onto the scene last year in this game, showed us his speed and how elusive he could be. And give credit to O'Shea Jackson for tracking him down.
28-yard run. This time he tries the left side, and number 28 picks up very little positive yardage. And it will be second down and 7 upcoming. They spotted at the 43-yard line. And this may be one of those.
Oh,
it's an injury timeout. Okay.
Well, it's a shoe timeout. Andrew Lamacusa can't get that shoe on.
All right. So Phil Andorella looking for his team to increase this 3-point lead. Everything all neat and tidy, ready to go now. 2 receivers to the right, 1 near side to the left. Movement across, and Footcoast takes the snap, but the play is blown dead.
One player we haven't seen since he came off injured is Billy Aaron, who's in there at running back for Fitch. Kind of switches in and out with Tyrese Anderson. Haven't seen him.
Ball, encroachment defense, 5 yards, second down.
So the penalty is assessed against Harding. Clock continues to roll. 6:16 and counting. Footcoast turns, gives Tyrese Anderson falling forward inside the 35, and he's brought down at just about the 34-yard line. Just about halfway home here in quarter number 3. Chad Krispinski, Ralph Sandy with you. Anderson over the 100-yard mark, 105 rushing yards. Footcoast to throw, firing, catch is made. Grover has it inside the 15 and brought down at the 14-yard line.
And you hate to keep harping on it, but that's the ability that's separating these two teams. The fact that Fitch is able to complete these passes to keep that defense honest, that's enabled them to be in the lead and possibly add to it here on this drive. A nice strike right there to Grover.
Footcoast keeps it himself. He'll take it up the middle, and he is wrestled down, brought down by Ty Howard. So it's a gain of 2, second down and 8 upcoming. Footcoast turns, gives, Tyrese Anderson squirts his way across, touchdown!
And don't you get the feeling that his small stature gives him an advantage in that crowded defensive line? I think he's hard to locate sometimes. You think this play is dead right here as he gets caught up in all this traffic, and just, don't you know it, he busts out of there, breaks some arm tackles, and finds his way in the end zone.
Great speed, found an opening and took full advantage. Ken Kilpatrick trying to tack on the extra point, and he does. And with 5:16 to play in quarter number 3, Austintown Fitch with a 10-point lead on the MyValleySports.com high school football. 6 plays, 74 yards. It took just under 2 minutes. Tyrese Anderson capping things off with a great 13-yard touchdown run. Line drive kick, which is again into the end zone, and in fact through the end zone. So Warren Harding will have it, first down and 10. And now if you are the Raiders, what's your plan of attack? Trailing by 10, plenty of time left.
Well, I think they have a good plan coming in. They like to mix the run with a little pass. They just can't seem to complete them. I think you rely on your big back, but you know, if you're going to make a move in this game, your quarterback Lamar Carmichael is going to have to step up.
Carmichael turns and gives. LaShawn Daniels breaking tackles. He's ahead of the 28-yard line, and he is up near a Warren Harding first down.
They certainly have got the respect of the run game. We're going to see how many guys before this play starts, how many guys are up in that box for Austintown Fitch to stop the run?
Gain of 9 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1. And Daniels, as you said, seems to be getting stronger as the game progresses. They keep it to the ground. Daniels again works his way to the 30. And he's very close to a 1st down.
So when they snap that ball, 8 guys in the box to stop the run. All right, so you know, it's going to be hard for any running back. Maurice Claret could be out there. You put 8, 9 guys in the box, it's going to be tough for him to run the football.
3rd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. I formation behind Carmichael. Carmichael gives to the big fullback up the middle to the 35. It's John Coleman. Move the chains, and Harding has it 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, Harding back down to the sideline. Here's Vicky.
All right, hey guys, I just spoke to the trainers on the Warren side. Roger Craig, number 44. He was injured before, and he wasn't warming up, and it seems like he's still limping out there, so I'm not really sure what's going on with him.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. And we have an injured Austintown Fitch player down on the field. And we'll take another timeout with 4:10 left. In the 3rd quarter, Fitch with a 10-point lead on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. The injured Austintown Fitch player, Gary Gibson, able to walk off under his own power. So you can vote for the Big 22 5 blocks of granite. It's brought to you by Wedgwood Pizza, Youngstown Granite, and the Moransky Companies. Go to MyValleySports.com and click Big 22 to make your choice for the best high school football linemen in our area. 1st and 10 from the 35. Carmichael fakes the handoff, trying to dump it off. Catch is made. The big fullback Coleman hauls it in for a pickup of about 9 yards.
And there's a step in the right direction right there. You get your fullback out in the flat. You hit him with a nice 3-4 yard pass and have him do the rest.
So it's 2nd down and 3 from the 42-yard line. I formation. They keep it to the fullback Coleman. Coleman ahead for another 1st down. Up to the Harding 49-yard line, and we have another injured player. This time for Austintown Fitch, it's Jared McHenry, and it looks like a left leg injury of some kind. And he's in a great deal of pain, so the clock is stopped with 3. 49 of Warren Harding. And here we go. LaShawn Daniels had a chance to catch his breath. Can he take advantage? We'll find out. Carmichael turns and gives to Daniels. Daniels into the open field. Daniels barreling forward inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line. C.J. Martini there to make the stop for Fitch.
And you're right, breaks like that due to injury really recharge a running back like LaShawn Daniels. He gets some rest, and you know, if he's going to be your horse down the stretch, breaks like that he'll have to take advantage of.
115 rushing yards for LaShawn Daniels. Carmichael gives to the fullback Coleman up the middle. Coleman busting through inside the 30 to the 29. He's been an impressive looking runner as well tonight.
Yeah, both of these running backs for Harding really know how to finish the run, and Coleman that time meets the safety and he delivers the blow. And again, you see he has some speed, nice ability to break some tackle. And watch how he finishes that run, just lowering the shoulder and really giving Tyler Grover the business.
Two receivers split far side to the left. Carmichael with an I formation behind him. Carmichael gives to Coleman. Coleman strong running up the gut inside the 25.
And now Harding seems to have picked up the pace on offense, trying to get the plays in a little bit quicker, get into that line of scrimmage a little bit quicker.
Raiders trailing Fitch by 10. Final moments of the third quarter. Carmichael adjusting things at the line. Carmichael takes the snap. On a drop play, Daniels is brought down. Picked up about 2 on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Tony Bahanda that time, number 76, making the tackle. They've had success here tonight with that drop play. Not a big gain right there, but again, you're pounding that football. You're trying to wear down that defensive line.
So 3rd down and 4 from the 22-yard line. Couple of receivers, far side to the left. Carmichael turns and gives to Daniels. Daniels breaking free, busting tackles, and he's brought down at the 11-yard line. Great strength for Daniels.
Well, and you could tell this Harding side, and we're sitting on the Harding side, loves to watch this kid run. He's not only exciting, but he's a workhorse back that he gets this crowd fired up, and you see his ability to make someone miss right there. And then you see the power aspect come in here at the second part of this run. Just keeping that leg pumping.
The 11-yard line. Run play goes to LaShawn Daniels, and Daniels is brought down inside the 10. After a short pickup, as we're now under a minute to play. Quarter number 3.
Second and 7. This is one of those downs you'd like to complete one of those little passes out into the flat.
Raiders trying to stick it in. Stack eye behind Carmichael. Carmichael again gives to Daniels. Daniels over the right side, and that time he couldn't find a whole heck of a lot of running room. Clock winding down, and that may do it here in quarter number 3. I don't think Warren Harding will snap the ball once again. They will not. So the final 10 seconds tick on down here at Falcon Stadium. We head to the 4th quarter with your score. Austintown Fitch 17, Warren G. Harding 7. 4th quarter action follows these words on the MyValleySports.com high school football. All set for the 4th quarter, 3rd and 7. Harding trailing by 10. Chad Krasinski, Ralph Sandy with you. An important play to start here in the 4th quarter. Carmichael fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself, and he's bottled up. And he didn't get the 1st down. Raiders didn't fool anybody on that play. It's going to be a 4th down play, and they're going to send out the field goal unit. We have Gary Gibson down once again.
Well, this injury will give a chance for Coach Arnold to maybe rethink that. Go over it. I certainly would have been wearing it.
Yeah, next time. Okay, here we go. 24-yard field goal attempt for Dominic Jones. It'll come from the right hash mark out of the hold of Jimmy Rumpel. This will make it a 7-point Fitch lead if it's good. Jones, line drive, kick, and it is good. Somehow, some way, it squeaked just over the crossbar. It wasn't pretty, but it counts all the same. And with 11:32 left to play in the ball game, it is Fitch 17, Warren Harding 10.
And when you look at the box score tomorrow, it's going to say 3 points. It's not going to say it was ugly, but it counted.
Ball game very much hanging in the balance. As Coach Arnold continues to bark out some orders. So 3 return men back to return for Austintown Fitch. Charles Wargo teeing things up. And the deep return man is Corral Johnson for Fitch.
Also back there, Billy Aaron. Nice to see him back in the football game.
Wargo. Hits it downfield. Aaron has it at the 13 to the 15 to the 20. Aaron cuts it back, plus the 20 out to the 24-yard line. And to make the stop, it's Keith Adams. As Aaron hobbles his way back to that far sideline.
And Keith Adams has been a good special teams player here tonight for Harding, making a lot of open field tackles.
So here we go. Here comes that Fitch offensive group. Matt Footkos and company. He's joined in the backfield by Tyrese Anderson, who's had another solid night. Footkos turns and gives to Anderson, and Anderson is wrestled down from behind at the 28-yard line.
Jalen Powell, the safety, up there to make that tackle.
So 2nd down and 7 upcoming. Falcons not in a great hurry. Footkos is going to roll to the left side. Footkos tucks it. Will try to run, and he's blasted down at about the 29, maybe the 30, for a short pickup of 1, maybe 2 yards. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down play, and we have another injured Fitch Falcon.
And there you see Roger Craig. We talked about him earlier being banged up. He's the one that makes that play.
3rd and 6, pivotal play for the Falcon offense. Footkos takes the snap. Footkos will keep it himself, and he's going to push his way, and he did not get that 1st down, and it's going to be 4th down. And if you're Coach Annarella, you've got to punt this ball away.
Oh, absolutely, field position wise. Also a pretty good time of the game. Maybe you make a run at that punter if you're sure you could do it without getting a roughing the kicker call. But either way, you're going to take over in great field position.
Nick Shealy in punt formation. Low snap. Shealy handles it. Gets away a very wobbly kick, which is going to hit down. Jalen Powell fields it at the 24. He's to the 30, and he's wrestled down across the 30. Brought down at the 31-yard line. So, 9:49 left in this one. And it'll be 1st and 10, Warren Harding.
Carell Johnson makes that tackle, but the next guy in line to make the tackle, Billy Price. So your two-way starter down there hustling to try to make a play in this important game.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. High formation behind Lamar Carmichael. Run play goes to Daniels. He's stacked up and driven back.
Andrew James finishes that for the Falcons, but someone else, one of the D linemen, got there first. There you go. It's number 53 on the defensive line for Austintown Fitch, Brandon Emery, the first one to get there to stop that play.
2nd and 12 from the 29-yard line. Carmichael fakes the handoff, rolling to the right side, stepping up, trying to dump it off. Catch is made by the fullback Coleman. He's across the 30, out near the 33-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and what looks to me about 7.
But just when you thought Lamar Carmichael was going to take the sack there, he was able to dodge Billy Price and complete that. And again, not a big play, but those are the plays this Harding offense needs to be successful.
They're going to call it 3rd down and 8. Big play for Warren Harding. Can they keep the drive alive? Carmichael under center. Carmichael with a long count takes the snap, looking, firing deep down the near sideline, and it's caught. What a grab for Jalen Powell. 1st down, Harding in Austintown, Fitch territory.
I tell you what, we've been kind of hard on Lamar Carmichael tonight and his inability to get the ball to the receiver, but this is a nice touch pass out to probably one of the best athletes on the field, Jalen Powell, and that's a beautiful pass in between the safety and the cornerback. He put it exactly where he needed it to be, and boy, Coach Arnold showing some confidence in his young quarterback.
Tyler Grover delivered the big hit, but it's a 1st down. Carmichael with an offset eye behind him. Carmichael gives to Daniels. Daniels inside the 45, brought down at the 42-yard line.
You know what you got to like, and you talked about how humble of a kid he is. He gets up, hands the ball to the official, goes right back to the huddle. You know, there's no pounding of the chest and jumping up and down.
He picked up 6 yards on the play as we go under 8 minutes left. It's going to be second down and a very manageable 4 yards. The fullback is John Coleman. LaShawn Daniels turns and takes the ball. And he's going to push his way inside the 40. Down to the 39-yard line. It's going to be a yard, maybe a little less, from a first down for the Raiders.
Boy, but for an offense like this, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, that's what you want. If you're Coach Arnold, those are manageable. Those are ones that, with that big fullback or your big bruising tailback, you could pick them up.
So 3rd down and 1 upcoming. We may see Coleman get the football here from the fullback position. That's the case. Coleman puts his head down and he falls forward, and it looks like it's going to be a Harding first down.
When your fullback's 6 foot, 215, 220, and you need a half a yard, that's the guy to give it to.
First down and 10 for Warren Harding. Trailing this one 17-10. On the move, Lamar Carmichael. On a delay, gives to Daniels. He's blasted down in the backfield.
Boy, Devin Gray timed that blitz up perfectly as he blitzed right in there. And at an opportune time to make a big defensive play.
Loss of 4 on the play. It'll bring up second down and 14. These are the situations that the Raiders can ill afford to get into. From the 41-yard line, Raiders set up shop. 3 receivers to the right, 1 near side to the left, 1 back in the backfield. It's Daniels to the right of Carmichael. Carmichael firing near side. Catch is made at the 30 and wrestled out of bounds is Aaron Qualls. However, it is not quite a first down. It's going to bring up a manageable 3rd down and 3, but that's a good throw from Carmichael.
That's clutch. I mean, he struggled all day throwing the football. And boy, he's made 2 nice passes here in the 4th quarter. Good pressure, and still able to stand in there and make a decent throw. But that's the problem when you're in a 2nd and 14. You make a nice play, you still have some yards to go to make that first down.
3rd and 3. The handoff goes to Coleman. Coleman loses his footing, tries to keep his balance, and he's going to be shy of a first down, and it's going to bring up a 4th down play. 4th down and a long 2. Now it's the Fitch defense with an opportunity to get off the field to try and come up with a big-time stop, and we have a timeout called by Warren Harding. And it comes with 5:39 left in the 4th quarter. A pivotal play when we come back to Falcon Stadium on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week. Fourth down play, 4th and 2. LaShawn Daniels dotting the I formation. Long count, Carmichael gives to Daniels. Daniels tries the right side, and he's spun down. Billy Price all fired up. And it's a turnover on downs. What a play by the Fitch defense.
Right there, you see him take on 2 blockers, still able to come off and secure that tackle. We say it all the time. Big plays, big players come up big in big games, and he also forces that fumble. Either way, minutes.
I do see Anderson in the middle of the huddle. Or can that Harding defense come through again? You can look how fired up that Fitch group is across the field. Tyrese Anderson checks in. Matt Footcoast takes his spot in the shotgun. First and 10 from the 27. Footcoast gives to Anderson, trying to cut the corner left side. And he's escorted out of bounds.
Well, he made a nice game, but he didn't want to get out of bounds.
So it's a pickup of 5, second down and 5 from the 32. Footcoast out of the gun. Takes the snap. Footcoast gives to Anderson. Anderson loses his footing. And he's wrestled down short of a first down at the 34-yard line. And now you have to start thinking, if you're Harding, at what point with your 2 timeouts do you start using them as the clock winding down towards 5 minutes left in the ball game?
I think you keep him in your pocket at least for a little bit. You may need him on the offensive side of the ball if this thing comes down to the wire. Before your defense steps up right here, you're going to get the ball right back.
Third down and 3 from the 34. Footcoast takes the snap, gives to Anderson. Anderson is blasted down, but not before he gets a first down.
Boy, that's going to be close, and you talked about it. He took a huge hit at the end of that as he got stood up, but he might have got enough. And he did.
They're going to say a first down. He was pushed back, but from my vantage point up here, you could see that he was clearly across. Oh my, he gets blasted backwards. That hit put on by Lindell Kimball. So it's first and 10 from the 43. Clock rolling, 4:38 left. Look how even this one is. 2 rushing yards separate these two. Footcoast rolling. Footcoast firing it out of bounds. It is incomplete. Didn't want to force anything.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword right there. You take the sack, you put yourself in a second and long, you throw it out of bounds, you stop the clock. But probably from a down and distance point of view, that's what you needed to do. Not force the ball, not turn it over. You'll take the stop clock, at least for now.
So second down and 10 for Austintown Fitch. Clinging to a 7-point lead. Footcoast has the play. He gives Tyrese Anderson up the middle, plus the 45 to the 46. It'll be third down.
Ty Howard finally brings him down, but not before on a 2nd and 10. You pick up 8 yards.
Third down and 2. Seemed like we've had so many big plays in the last couple of series. This is a big one here. The Harding defense has come up with some stops. Do they have another one in them? Let's try and give the offense a chance to tie this one up late in the 4th quarter. Fitch will have to convert. Footcoast gives to Anderson. Anderson up the middle. He has another first down right near the 50-yard line. And move the chains, and the Falcons have been very efficient.
I tell you what, give credit to those guys up front. They're doing a great job of getting a push off of that initial snap of that football and getting their running back in a position to pick up those 2 or 3 yards that they need.
Harding with 2 timeouts remaining. Footcoast, low snap, rolling to the left side, dumps it off, complete to Aaron, 40, 35, Aaron tiptoe on that sideline, and he's up near another first down. I think he moved the chains again.
A nice call there. You know, you tell your quarterback on a play like that, if it's not there, throw it away. It's a safe little pass out in the flats, and then you get an athlete like Billy Aaron to catch that football and make something happen. And you can see he gained about 10, 15 yards, depending on where they spot that on the sidelines after the catch, and then takes a shot on the sidelines by Lindell Kimball.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line. Footcoast with a handoff to Aaron, and Aaron falls down. And I'll tell you what, just below us here in the stands, see a lot of those Warren Harding Raider fans starting to head for home. They're leaving the seats now, and they think this one is all but in the books. We've seen some strange things, but Fitch has converted these first downs when they've really needed them, and this is a hard-earned football game. See if the Falcons can polish things off in the final 3:12 when we come back. 17-10, Austintown Fitch. We'll have the conclusion when we come back on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
Anto.
Matt Footcoast and Austintown Fitch trying to polish things off in the final 3:12. One timeout remaining for Warren Harding. They've actually put 3 seconds back on the clock. It's now 3:15 following that second charged timeout. Matt Footcoast over the left side, and Footcoast with second effort, barreling his way down to the 21-yard line. It'll be another Fitch first down.
And they will be in no hurry to snap this, although we have an official's timeout.
And I think the officials are eyeing it up. I think we have a measurement, perhaps. Say, there've certainly been some great plays through the course of the ball game. Coming up after this one, Ralph and I will pick the Dr. William Woods play of the night. We've had some big plays on both sides here tonight. Phil Annarella's team has been very efficient as they stretch the chains out. And they'll stretch the chains out, and it's a Falcon first down. And in all likelihood, Ralph, beginning to think that may just about do it.
Well, certainly they're going to take some time off of this clock, and they're not going to be able to kneel on it, that's for sure. So you kind of go and you kind of force a turnover here on any of these runs. You still have one timeout. If you're Harding, certainly you'll use that.
Under the 3-minute mark. First and 10 from the 23. Footcoast gives it to Anderson, and Anderson is stacked up, and he's driven back. That clock continues to roll down to 2:35. It's a pickup of 1 yard. And we mentioned off the top a chance for both of these teams, Ralph, to make a statement. A win by either team is oh so big for both of these head coaches. But I thought it was very interesting, the comments from Phil Anarella as Footcoast puts his head down and he's brought down at the 15-yard line. He said, you know what, this is a chance for both teams to make a statement. However, a loss cannot be the end all. He said there's still 9 games to go in the regular season. If you don't have the end result that you want, it's not the end of the world. There's still plenty to play for.
Right, absolutely. But a win here really gives you that extra push heading into those 9 games that are left on your schedule. And, you know, we talked about this Fitch team, a bunch of younger guys that got experience last year, and maybe it wasn't expected experience, but it certainly shows that it has paid off well this year. Footcoast is one of those guys that when Davis went down at the quarterback position, he had to fill in, and that gives him some experience heading into this game. And Anderson's another one that benefited from the injuries. And yeah, coach,
the 15-yard line for Fitch. Aaron is the running back now, but it's Footcoast on the keeper, and he squirts his way down near the 10-yard line, and he has a first down. And there's now 93 seconds left. The Falcons can pretty much start the celebration. Warren Harding has called its final timeout. Harding will try and rebound next week against Howland in a ball game that will bring you here on our game of the week. Footcoast rolling around the left side, trying to negotiate the corner. Footcoast is going to be dropped at about the 5, and clock will continue to wind down.
that time we saw Lindell Kimball slow to get up, and Javon Provit just went lifting him up on the shoulder pad. Said, come on, let's go.
He said, let's make this official. He's going to have to come out. Yeah, they'll wind the clock. So the fastest 10 weeks in the calendar year are underway. The first Friday night is just about complete. Coming up after the ball game, we'll visit with our PNC Bank player of the game. And we'll bring you our play of the night, courtesy of Dr. William Woods. So Fitch isn't in much of a hurry now to snap this football. With a 7-point lead. Footkos takes it around the right side. Footkos pushes his way towards the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown! 5-yard touchdown run for Phil Annarella's team. Matt Footkos finds pay dirt, and it is now a 23-10 lead pending the extra point.
See, nice blocking out front. Footkos has been reliable all night in the pass game, also in the run game, and just spreads them out so there's no more defenders, has one guy to beat and punches it in.
So 56 seconds left. Our extra point try is up, and that kick is through the poles. And with 56 seconds.
Every time you come into a season, Chad, there's a lot of question marks. And I think both of these teams, a win and a loss, you answered some of those. What players you could rely on, what players we're going to have to look somewhere else for to fill some holes. And obviously both of these coaches will probably start watching film here tonight, win or lose. And you make those early season adjustments so that when you get to week 7 and 8, you got that guys you can rely on and guys that hope you take you to week 11.
So what was very much a packed. So the Warren Harding Raiders trailing it by a couple of touchdowns. I think a last-ditch effort as there's a little squib kick that's taken across the 15 to the 20, opening at the 30, and out across the 30 up near the 35-yard line. On the return, it was LaShawn Daniels. So we're down to 49 seconds left. So it's 1st and 10 for Harding at their own 35-yard line. LaShawn Daniels in the backfield. One receiver to each side. Carmichael firing to the right side, and it is incomplete. On a slant. Pass intended for Aaron Qualls. On in coverage for Austintown Fitch was C.J. Martini. So 2nd and 10 from the 35. Carmichael is back to the air trying to dump it off, and it is a lateral picked up by Austintown Fitch. Still loose on the field. And it's going to go to Austintown Fitch. And they're just a kneel down away from finishing this thing off.
Darren Hall, number 24 for the Falcons, recognizes it, goes over there, and he didn't even know where the ball is, but he had good coverage. And there you see his teammate's going to come over there, scramble for it, and eventually I don't know who comes up with that football.
He bounced around for a while, and when it's all said and done, the Falcons have it. They can officially put this thing to bed. The most fun formation in all of football, the victory formation. Footkos takes the knee. So both teams beginning to congratulate one another as the final 20 seconds tick on down, my friend. Looking forward to another season. We got one more ball game here in week number 1 tomorrow. Should be a good one. This one was a great one here tonight. But Austintown Fitch coming away with a victory tonight. In week number 1, 24-10. And this one now is in the books. Final score, Austintown Fitch 24, Warren Harding 10. We'll wrap it up and visit with our PNC player of the game following these words on the MyValleySports.com high school football game of the week.
Hi, folks. Steve Butt from 144 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. He joins us now. First of all, a chance for your team to make a statement here against a quality program in Warren Harding. To pick up a victory, what kind of an impact can a win like this have?
Well, it's pretty good. Like, we thought that it was going to come out more harder than us, but then we was just in the locker room thinking to ourselves, like, they're not better than us. And our coaches started talking to us, and we just had to come out and fight.
Talk about your performance here tonight. You found those holes that those big guys up front were able to open up, and when you really needed to convert those first downs to move the chains, you were able to do it, scrapping and clawing all night. Your performance, your thoughts?
Well, like, I kind of, like, my legs kind of hurting a little bit, like, since the first scrimmage, but, you know, I've been nicing a lot and doing really good at practice and stuff, so, you know, I just have to find my holes and hit them hard.
How good can this Austintown Fitch team be this season? One of the larger programs in the area. Do you have a good feel of how good this team can be and where it can end up when this season is all said and done?
I have a feeling that we're going to make it to the playoffs, you know, and
Okay, tell me about your performance as a team. You also got some key performances, some key stops on defense. Talk about those huge stops late in the fourth quarter. Can you talk about those key stops defensively? Your defense came up, really stopped Harding when they needed to late in the ball game.
Well, like, our defense is, like, they're really good. I think they're, like, a lot more better than last year. And, like, each practice, we've been just hitting it hard, just playing hard.
Go in that locker room, enjoy this one with your teammates.
All right.
That's our PNC Bank player of the game, Tyrese Anderson, 144 rushing yards and a touchdown, helping Austintown Fitch to a 24-10 victory over Warren Harding. Let's now talk about our Dr. William Woods play of the night. The aforementioned defense coming up oh so big in quarter number 4. None play bigger than in the fourth quarter when Billy Price was able to come through with a big-time stop and a subsequent fumble that was recovered by Fitch. It would have been a turnover on downs anyway, but a huge stop in that particular occasion. That is our Dr. William Woods play of the night. It all adds up to an Austintown Fitch 24-10 victory over Warren Harding. Before we get on out of here, I'd like to thank some folks who